a space where you get to do some work and see what happens. To start, take a comfortable seat, grounding yourself, settling those hips. Let that crown rise and the chin tucks, and bring your hands to your heart. Notice where you are on those sitting bones. Your pelvis might be tilted forward a little bit or rocked back. Can you try and make that pelvic bowl as still and centered as possible? And now we turn to the breath, letting it come deeply into our lungs, all the way into our belly. And then we let it go. We inhale deeply, and we let it go. One more breath in, and exhale. You can gently open your eyes, keep your hands at your heart, keep your gaze on the floor a little bit ahead of you, so your eyes are soft, your gaze is steady, your crown of your head is rising, and your sitting bones are grounding. Feel how solid and centered you are in this space. Today we're going to channel Rocky. I happened to listen to the Rocky theme song recently, and it got me all fired up. And so we're gonna channel our Rocky a little bit. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and stand on up. We're starting standing today. I know I usually start on the floor, but we're gonna go ahead and stand. Bring your feet hip width apart and have a nice solid stance. Make a gentle fist with both of your hands, and inhale, lift your right fist up, looking up. Now bring that right fist across to the left side of your body, and then bring that right fist down to your side. So inhale that left arm up, exhale across, inhale down, and release. We lift that arm up, we bring it across, and we lower it down. We lift that left arm up and look up, we look to the right, and we lower it down. Relax in those shoulders. One more time, both sides. Inhale up, and then across, and then down with that right hand, and now left arm up, and across, and down, and relax. You can start to swing those arms, and actually I'd love to hit my kidneys in the back, just to kind of wake them up a little bit. So we're spinning those arms, we're waking up the torso as we twist our body. Inhale, and exhale. Now, this next one's gonna feel a little bit weird, but just kind of close your eyes or keep your eyes on the floor and don't worry about it. We're going to reach out with our right hand like we're grabbing something really good, and we're bringing it back to our heart. And then with our left hand and bring it back. And so just kind of get a rhythm, almost like you're swimming or I don't know. So we're just reaching for the good. We're pulling it in, and we're getting loosened up and warmed up. So we're kind of working into those shoulders, feel those feet, have that gaze be nice and steady, and you're pulling in the good. We're grabbing that good, and we're just going for it. Breathing, inhale. This is kind of a Kundalini yoga posture. And so we're moving and trying to wake up the spine and wake up our hearts, our lungs, just doing it for a little bit more. And think of Rocky. This is our training. So we're working, we're getting stronger, we're loosening, inhale, and exhale, release, and shake it out. Interlace those fingers and turn those palms up toward the ceiling. You can keep your gaze at the floor if you would like, otherwise you can look up. And now we can lean those arms over to the right. It might be easiest to look at the floor when you're doing this. Ground down through that left foot. Really feel this in that right or left shoulder, then coming back up, and we switch sides. So we lean over to the left. That right side body, feel the space between the ribs. Let's inhale and exhale. Inhale, come back up. Bring your hands to your heart and chin towards your chest. We can step those feet together and we'll do a sun salutation. So inhale, lift those arms up, and we exhale, tip ourselves forward. Inhale, extend through that heart, and exhale, step or hop back into plank. And now, you can always come to your knees if you need. We're going to inhale, bring a right fist up and bend that right elbow and lower that right hand back to the floor. We'll bend that left elbow and bring that left fist up and lower that hand to the mat. Inhale, right elbow comes up, right fist, lower it down. Inhale, left elbow comes up and a fist and lower it down. You can either come to those knees or rock forward a little bit. Those elbows go back into a chaturanga. Inhale, let's press ourselves up, and exhale, back we go. So the idea today is not to create tension or violence or anger, but instead to channel all of those training sessions that Rocky did, the fierceness. And it's not in the ring that is the most important, it's what you do to prepare. And so this is the work to prepare our bodies for life, to get back out into that world. So we're going to inhale, we're going to exhale, really press into those hands. You could walk those feet out if you need. One more breath in. Let's look up at those hands, and we'll either step or hop ourselves to the front of the mat. Inhale, our hearts extend, and exhale, we lower over those front legs. Inhale, we rise, and exhale, let's bring our hands to our heart and chin to our chest. So one more time, inhale those arms on up, and then let's spill forward. Oh, isn't it gorgeous? Inhale, extend through that spine, and then we can step or hop back into that plank. You can always be on your knees. So now, inhale that right elbow up and extend that fist out to the side, and then bring it back in and lower it down. Other side, that left elbow comes up. We extend the fist out to the left. We bring that hand back in and lower it down. One more time each side, right elbow comes up. We extend, bring it back in, lower it down. Left hand elbow up. We extend, we bring that back in and lower it down. Everyone come to your knees. Everyone lower yourself all the way down onto your mat. Bring your fingertips off the mat. Inhale, let's lift. And exhale, we lower. Inhale, rise up. Gorgeous, like you're coming out of water. And exhale, we lower. And inhale, we rise, working that spine. Let's exhale and lower. Bring our hands by our chest and slowly press ourselves up into a table. So from here, walk those hands forward into puppy pose. So the heart is melting toward the earth. The forehead can come to land. Those fingertips can walk forward. Those hips lift as the heart drops toward your mat. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in. Let's exhale, walk those hands back in. We're going to tuck those toes and come on back once again into our down dog. You can lift one heel, then the other. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift your right heel and swing your right bum towards your right shoulder. So try and stay grounded in that left hand. We're breathing, lifting through those hips. Really try and swing that right hip to the side. We lower that right heel. You can shake your bum side to side. Then we'll lift that left heel and swing our hips over to the left. Wow, I'm feeling this morning. Breathing, feel that right hand on the mat, nice and grounded. Try and lift just a little bit more in those hips, then swing to the left. And now bring your hips back to center, lower that left heel. We'll inhale, lift our right leg up to the sky and step it on through our hands and come on up into a high lunge. So getting ourselves nice and centered, and then we lift our arms. Your gaze can stay at the floor, or you can lift the gaze toward the ceiling. Try and bend into that front knee, then lift from those heart spaces. Bend into the knee and lift. Breathing a really fierce posture. Let's inhale. Exhale, sweep those hands. Either step back to down dog or move through vinyasa. So knees up or down, it's up to you. We inhale, press into upward facing. Let's rock on back into downward facing dog. Press those hands and then those heels lower toward the mat. Try and keep those back feet parallel. Inhale. Let's exhale. We'll inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky and step it between our hands and rise on up into a high lunge. So get really settled. Then let those arms rise. Your gaze can stay at the floor so you're nice and steady, or you can look up. Now, bend into that front knee. Lift through that heart. Bend into your front knee, and we lift. You are so strong. We're breathing, we're challenging the body so that the body is up for challenge. So we create a positive feedback loop. We challenge it, we challenge the body, we face the challenge, we do it, and we can do it again and again. Last breath. Bring those hands to the earth, stepping back either into down dog or your vinyasa. So those elbows can go back. We lift in the heart. We rock ourselves back and come into downward facing dog. Let's inhale and exhale. Look up at your hands and we'll either step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, our hearts extend, and exhale, let's fold. Inhale, those arms sweep out and we rise. And then we bring our hands to our heart and chin to our chest. So ground down through that right foot. We'll step back. We're coming into triangle. So our hips face the long edge of the mat. And those arms float almost like they have balloons. And now imagine we're being pulled forward as we tip over that right leg. And we can look up toward our left thumb. Try and stay grounded in those feet. Extend through that heart space. Look up at that left thumb or the ground if your neck, or halfway up, whatever works best for your neck. Inhale. Feel those feet. Exhale. We're holding it for just a little bit longer. Sometimes that's the battle, is to stay in a posture, not to move and move quickly. So one more breath. Let's exhale. Inhale, come all the way back up and step your left foot to the front of your mat. Then we're going to step that right foot back. Extend those arms, nice and light. Then we move forward. And we have that left hand land as we then open through our heart space, stacking right shoulder over heart, over left. And you can look up toward that thumb, extend through the spine, grow grounded through all of your foot, both feet. Inhale and exhale. Taking one more breath in, and let's exhale. Inhale, we'll come back up and step to the front of our mat. So bring your feet together. We'll inhale, lift those arms up overhead and tip ourselves forward. Inhale, extend through the heart, and exhale, plant those hands, either step or hop back. You can either come to your knees or keep those knees lifted as you lower into a push-up. Then we inhale, rise, and exhale, bring ourselves back. Let's inhale, lift that right leg up to the sky, and exhale, step it between the hands and lower that back knee. And lift those arms on up, settling into that front right knee. We can look up if you have it. Inhale and exhale. Last breath in. Exhale, sweep those hands and either step back to down dog or move through vinyasa. We inhale, lift, and then we press ourselves back. Staying light in our spirit and in our body. One more inhale, and let's exhale. We'll inhale, lift that left leg up to the sky and step it between our hands and lower that back knee. Then we inhale, rise on up. Bend into that front knee. You can look up if you have it. And imagine someone is lifting you gently on those arms. And someone else is gently pulling you on those hips. So we get that traction, that length, that beautiful pulling of the body. Inhale. Exhale, hands sweep. Either down dog or vinyasa. Wherever you are, try and stay light in your heart and shift those hips back. If you did your vinyasa, inhale, and let's exhale. Look up at your hands, and we'll either step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, our hearts extend, and exhale, we fold. Inhale, rise on up. And then bring your hands to your heart and chin to your chest. Okay, so now for some more challenge, we are going to ground down through that left foot and inhale, lift that right knee up. So your hands can come up. And if you're still working on balance, you can always just step back and tap that foot and then come back up. If you would like a little more challenge. So you can have that right knee lifted. So everybody just step back and then we lift that knee. Now go back into a lunge if you would like. So you step really far back and notice what happens and try and step forward. Or you can kick that foot back and come into airplane and then come back up. So we're gonna do that 3 more times, so walk it out. Actually, we might just do it 2, we'll see. So left foot grounds, the hands rise. So pick your level. We inhale, lift that right leg, and then we either tap it back, we go back into a lunge, or we try airplane and put our hands down if we need. We come back up, bring that knee with us, and let's walk it out. And we're staying on the same side to really work that left leg. All right, we're gonna lift those arms up, lift that right knee up, and then we do our posture, whatever we want to do. We're training just like Rocky, and then we come back up and walk it out. Okay, so before we go to the other side, let's bring our toes pointed out, and we'll bend those knees, and you can lower shoulder to shoulder, or you can sit on down into Malasana, bring your hands to your heart, and just catch your breath. So, one of the things about posture and balance that makes it so difficult is you have a lot of things going on. So balance requires your eyes, it requires your inner ear, and it requires the mechanics of your foot. So when we're doing balance, we just do what we can and see what happens. And we might strengthen things. We might strengthen our ankles so that we get a little more balance. And so it's always just to try. We are training. We're training our bodies and seeing what happens. So one more breath in. Let's exhale. All right. So plant those hands, lift through those hips. You might even sway side to side. So just make sure we're nice and loose. And then we'll bend those knees, bring our hands to our waist, chuck our chin, and come on up. And we'll do the other side. Okay, so right foot grounds, and those hands lift, And we're gonna lift that left knee. We're just gonna hold it here for a little bit because we did on the other side as I was talking us through. So we lift, and remember, we can tap. That could be our pose. We lift, and we can lunge. And notice what happens. We balance, we wobble. We can lift, and we can go forward. Okay, so now, everybody lift and go into your posture. Focus on your balance, your body. We bring that left knee back in and rise. We're gonna do it 2 more times. Focus and see. Pretend you're Rocky. Now you've got this. You've got to concentrate, and if we wobble, we just get back up. We're training. 1 more time. Going to your level. Channeling your power. Inhale, lift, and walk it out. Nicely done. Okay, bring those feet together. Inhale those arms up overhead. We're gonna tip ourselves forward. We're gonna extend through our hearts, and we'll either step or hop back into plank. You can come to your knees, or those knees can stay lifted. We inhale, rise into up dog, and we press ourselves on back into downward facing dog. We'll inhale, lift that right leg up to the sky, and exhale, step it between the hands, and lower that back heel. And from there, really bend into your right knee. And so you're turned off, kind of facing the left corner of your mat. And then walk those arms out. So grounding through the feet, stretching in those hips that we just worked. Try and stay long through the back of your neck. Breathing. Let's inhale. And exhale. Let go of all the work, all the challenging. Now we're stretching. 1 more breath in. And we walk those hands in. Step that right foot back, either into a down dog or a vinyasa. And we inhale, lift through our hearts. If we are doing the vinyasa, and we push ourselves back, and taking a deep breath, inhale and exhale. Now we'll lift that left leg up to the sky and step it between our hands, lower that back heel. Our hearts move to that right corner now, and our hands walk off. So the hands are on a diagonal, the heart is sinking, trying to stretch some of those muscles that we've just worked. Let's inhale and exhale. 1 more breath. We walk our hands back in, and we're going to just now step back into down dog and look up at our hands, and we'll either step or hop to the front of our mats. We inhale, extend through those hearts, and lower ourselves into a forward fold. Staying here for an extra breath or 2, just trying to stretch out the back side of our body. Inhale and exhale. We'll sweep those arms wide and come on up on our next inhale, and then bring our hands to our hearts and chins to our chest. Okay, so if it's possible, if you can move your mat to the side, or maybe it's quicker to just move your device. So the long edge of the mat now is going to be to the front. We're going to step those feet out so the toes are turned out, heels are turned in, and we're going to bend those knees. It's tempting to lean forward, but try and sit up nice and tall on those hips. And from here, we're going to bring our elbows into our waist. So this is goddess pose. And usually we just go straight out, but what we're going to do now is extend our right arm up and over and bend over toward our left. And then we're going to come back in. And then we're going to extend that left arm up and over and come back in. Right arm extends and back we come. Left arm extends and back we come. Now straighten everything up. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn those feet in, so now the edges of your feet are parallel to the edges of your mat. We inhale, lift through our hearts, and exhale, fold forward. The hands can come to the floor. You can always bend the knees if you need. Inhale, that heart extends. Then we try and lower the crown of the head toward the floor. Your hands can walk back between those feet if you have it. So nice and wide legs. Try and stay grounded through the whole foot, both feet. We press back rather than rock forward. Let's inhale, one more breath. And exhale. Inhale, come back up. Bring your hands to your waist and slowly build yourself back up. Bring those heels in once again. Those toes turn out. We're going to bend those knees. And now we're going to do what you can kind of call yin-yang arms. So we're going to bring our right arm up and over and our left arm under, so we create kind of a circle, and then we go to the other side. So mostly we're just rocking back and forth, and we're doing what we did in that last posture, just using both arms this time. So go at your own pace. We're trying to build some strength in the legs. We're also trying to open up the side body, create more mobility in the spine. What are your toes doing? Mine were just gripping. Can we relax them? Inhale. Exhale. One more time each side. And we go to the other side. And we come back to center. Bring your hands to your waist and extend those legs. Bring those feet parallel once again to the edges of your mat. Now, either grab those elbows or interlace those fingers behind you. We lift up through those hearts, and then we tip forward. So you'll notice we're doing some work, and that work can get your heart and your lungs going, and then we try and move into a posture that's more stable, where the idea is to lengthen, to release, to open. So feel the movement between those two things. We move, we rest. We work, we nourish. Inhale and exhale. Last breath in. Exhale, release your hands, bring them back to your waist. Bend those knees, your chin tucks in, and up you come. Okay, one more time. We're going to turn those toes out and the heels in. We're going to bend, and we're going to take the right arm up and over this time, and now we're going to lift that left heel and lower. We're going to lift the right heel and lower. Lift that left heel, lower. Lift that right heel, lower. One more time, left heel, right heel, and then bring those arms straight up, looking straight up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring your hands to your waist and give yourself a little shake before we do the other side. We'll bend those knees. Now that left arm comes up, and we're going to lift that right heel. We're going to lift that left heel. We're going to lift the right heel and the left. One more time each side. Right heel, really long through that left side body. Left heel lower. Lift both arms up. Inhale. You can really feel this probably on those upper thighs. Exhale. Rise all the way up and bring your hands to your heart and walk those feet together. Perfect. So this time, what we're going to do is ground down through that left foot and bring that right heel towards your right bone. You can stay like this, your arms could lift, or you could try and bring your hands to that right foot. And if possible, see if you can bring both hands to grab that foot. Point that right knee toward the floor. You could always use a wall, and one hand could be on the wall. Now we're trying to stretch out those quads that we just were working. Open through your heart. I was just really collapsed. So can you open through that heart? Press down through that left foot. Remember, balance is eyes, ears, and foot. So it's a challenge, and walk it out. But we're up for it. We're channeling Rocky. So we're gonna be up for the challenge and see what happens. That right foot grounds. The left heel comes in. You can always lift both arms if it's not available to grab your foot. Otherwise, you can take that left hand around that foot, maybe grab it with your right hand as well. Point that left knee to the floor. Then imagine your Pinocchio and Geppetto is pulling on your head, so you're nice and tall. You're relaxed. Inhale and exhale. Last breath in, and we release. So have your feet about hip width apart. Bring your hands to your waist. Inhale, look up, and exhale, fold forward. You can bend through those knees. Take your right hand and bring it, oh, nope, I just totally messed up, so never mind. Okay, straighten through those legs. Well, keep the knees bent, sorry. And we'll extend those arms nice and long. Wow, couldn't get you there. Okay, so we're gonna extend those arms long. We're gonna work that back. We're breathing, inhale and exhale. One more breath in, and then we'll plant those hands. So the hands stay planted. Turn those right toes out, and you can even step that right foot out just a little bit more. And step that left foot to the other end of your mat. So you're in a nice lunge. Bring your hands by that right foot. And your hands can stay there, and you can just be kind of moving toward that right knee. That's a beautiful posture. Or coming into Skandasana, so that left toes lift, and you can stay here, or those hips can sink. And then we bring our hands to our hearts. And we breathe. And we try things, and if they don't work, we laugh at ourselves and we go on. That's what life is too. So all kinds of things we can practice on our yoga mats. Letting go, laughing at ourselves, trying, and seeing what happens. Bring those hands back to the mat, and we'll walk to the other side. So we turn those left toes out. The right toes can be down, and your hands can be on the earth. And believe me, this is a beautiful stretch. It gets into the hips, especially when you start to lower that head toward those hands. But if you want to do the deeper stretch, then those right toes lift, and we sit down into that left leg. You can keep your hands on the floor. You can always bring your hands to your heart, and we breathe. See if you can get a little longer in that spine. See if you can bring a smile to your face. Life is awesome, beautiful. Inhale and exhale. We bring those hands back to the mat, walk back to center, and now those feet, edges of the feet are parallel to the edges of the mat, and we're going to walk those arms straight out in front of us into a gorgeous wide-legged down dog. Feel those hands extend through the neck, and then lift in those hips. Imagine you're going to bump the ceiling. So you lift up a little bit, then drop in that heart and see what happens. So it's not just to do the posture, it's to explore the posture. What little things can you do to really get in there and make it feel awesome? Inhale. Exhale, let's walk those hands back in. And you can scooch those feet in just a little if you need. Bend those knees, bring your hands to your waist, tuck your chin, and slowly come up to stand. And walk those feet in. And we'll come into standing figure 4. So left foot grounds. We'll inhale, lift that right knee. Cross that right foot over, so the right ankle's on the left knee, the right foot is flexed. We sit those hips back and down. Hands at your waist or at your heart, that calf, or down to the floor. So if balance is our eyes, our ears, and our feet, if we set our eyes on something, that's going to create steadiness. If we relax in the shoulders, if we try and create balance in our neck area, that might help us. And our foot can be as grounded as possible, as solid on the earth as possible. Inhale. And let's exhale. Bring those hands back to your waist and come back up to stand. Let's walk it out. Right foot grounds. We lift through those left toes. We cross that left ankle over. Then we start to sit down. Left feet flexed. Hands to your position. Remember, find your focal point. Shoulders and neck relaxed. Try not to crowd your inner ear. So creating as much space there as you can. I was just really pressing on the outside of my foot. Can you press through the entire foot? Then let those hips sink. So there's so much to pay attention to, and that's why it's a practice. We see what we can do with our mind and our body and our breath. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back to your waist and build yourself back up and walk it out. So from here, let's just go ahead and come on down onto our bums. So we can keep the mat nice and wide. We'll come into boat pose, but I want you to cross your right ankle over your left. So your hands can plant by your bum. You can lift those feet. You can keep the hands on the earth or extend the arms long. Then from there, you can always extend through that left leg if you have it and sit up nice and tall for 7, 6, 5, relax, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower that foot down. And we'll switch sides, so then that right heel comes down, the left ankle crosses over, the hands can be by your bum. Rock back, arms can lift, and then ultimately you could straighten those legs. And we could do the Rocky theme, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum. So we've got this for 5, 4, 3, lift through that heart, 2, 1, lower it down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Then bring yourself forward. Your hands could be at your ankles, your feet. So make it gorgeous. Make it juicy. Stretch in those hips. And thanks for coming along on a journey today with me. Going inside. Stepping on this mat and just seeing what happens when we try this, or when we look at this, when we let go here, when we ground more there. Inhale and exhale. Last breath. Let's exhale and sit back up. And now you don't have to turn your mat, but you can turn on your mat. And so we'll extend those legs and inhale, lift those arms up overhead. Exhale, tip forward. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, rock onto your backs and let those feet lift. We'll let those legs lower and come back up to sitting with those arms up. Inhale. Exhale, forward we go. Inhale, up we rise. Exhale, we tip back and those legs lift. Then we drop those legs, we sit back up. Fold ourselves forward, rise back up. Rock onto your backs as those legs lift. Now, stay here for an extra breath. We're going to rock ourselves forward. Can you catch yourself in a boat pose? So, let those legs lower. Bring those arms up. You can always bend those knees if you need. And those arms can be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those legs down. And you can spin once again on your mat and have your legs nice and wide. Inhale, we sit up. And exhale, we crawl ourselves forward. So you might be up here. You might have those arms out. The chin can tuck in. The crown of the head can reach toward those hands. Feeling those legs. Relaxing in the rest of your body. Inhale. And exhale. Last breath. We'll walk those hands back in and come onto our backs for some twists. So you can spin yourself around and we lift those legs, bring those arms out to a T. Cross your right leg over your left. Let those knees drop to the left as you reach away to the right. That chin is toward that right shoulder, softening in both shoulders, twisting deep in that belly. Inhale and exhale. So we release, coming back up. We'll cross the left knee over, drop the knee to the right, and then look to our left. Our hearts are open. Inhale and exhale. Releasing, coming back to center, and then take happy baby. So shins, ankles, outsides of the feet. Let that chin drop towards your chest rather than rise toward the ceiling. And well done, Rocky Balboans. We did it. We did some fierceness, we stretched, we balanced, we showed up, we worked. And so now, let's reward ourselves with some nourishment. Coming into Shavasana. So the soles of the feet can be on the earth or together, or you can extend those legs. Palms turn up. Letting yourself be held. Gentle now, hush, be well. Gentle now, hush, be well. Radiant in your heart, let it go, head to toe. Gentle now, hush, be well. Gentle now, hush, be well. Radiant in your heart, let it go, head to toe. Gentle now, hush, be well. Gentle now, hush, be bringing some energy back into your fingers and toes. You can circle your hands, your feet. You might interlace those fingers and once again bring those arms up overhead. So stretching from one end of your mat to the other. Releasing that. Bring one knee into your chest and then the other. Rolling on to your right. those eyes closed, press yourself up into a seated posture. And you can bring one hand over your heart and then the other. You can bring your hands to prayer, or you can bring your hands to prayer but release your fingers except for your thumbs and pinkies and create a lotus blossom at your heart. So whatever mudra, whatever hand gesture seems right to you this morning. There's no right answer, it's what's right for you. So wherever you are, extend through that spine. Root down through those sitting bones, rise with your head. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be free from fear. May you channel your inner Rocky, the one willing to work hard, the one who gets back up, the one who is fierce and strong and loving. May you be spacious. May you be brave. May you be kind. And may the light inside of you shine bright. Take a deep inhale. Let's exhale through an open mouth. Inhale. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing. Be well and take care.